Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to race 11 of 12. This is the penultimate race for the part-timer series this season. So get ready for 13 laps of racing here at Auto Club for the Cargill 250. James Morton and Kate Rogers are on the front row. Third in points, 27 points back, is Zachary Fitzwater. And second in points, 3 points back, is Ace Rogers. They are in row number 2. Points leader Tony Vieira going to start 28th. Eric Carl, Emily Brooks in row 3, Sheila Sullivan, Philip Goldberg row 4, with Mason Powers and Cindy Vieira in row 5. So Auto Club's going to be a long weekend, and part-timers get a week off as the rest of the series all head over to Sonoma. And then we will have our final race weekend at Armory Digital, where we will crown 3 champions, because part-timers technically, well, I guess you could say 4, but we don't really keep track of. There's no part-timers. There's not a part-timers all-time wins list or anything, because it's just part-timers. So, yeah. So since we'll be doing heat races next season, it doesn't even really matter who wins this championship. It's more like bragging rights. You might get a better ride. Teams are looking at people down here for people they want to win a championship or not. In fact, Hendrick just filled up its team's Nico Tringali, Season 2 champion of Cup Series, signed to drive the 25 car. So Hendrick and Richard Childress are the 2 teams that are filled. And Roush waiting to see how Michael Parker does. Michael Parker waiting to see how he does too, to decide whether he will return or not. And I will get you to the start of the race in a little bit. So these guys get ready to go green. Tony Vieira knows if he wants to keep it between him and Ace, Zachary Fitzwater is going to have to stay behind him in the finishing order. If Vieira gets in trouble, Ace Rogers could pull away. If Fitzwater's in trouble too, green flag is out. The Cargill 250 is underway at Auto Club. So Fitzwater going to try his best to do well here today. Fitzwater also in a hunt for the Truck Series championship. But Fitzwater knows that he's got to hope Tony Vieira finishes below him, and that Ace finishes below him too would be a help too. Ace knows he's got to have Vieira finish either below him, or if above him, not that above, far above, as they are already 3 wide for the lead, which is pretty regular for Auto Club. James Morton does lead the first lap, and they guys are already 4 wide as Mason Powers goes to the race lead. Colby Alves going to be driving for Roush Yates Racing next season in the 88 Ford. So that should be interesting for him, driving a more sponsored car. They got Featherlight trailers on board for that team. They got some other stuff too. I forget which exactly though. Nick Pericles to the front. You got a lot of drivers in this series. Most of them, a couple of them are set for next season, but most of them will have to figure out what they want to do. As Skylar Dixon goes for the lead, here comes Chloe Baker. Now Kyle Collins, Chris Corando. These guys are crazy, 4 wide and such. Oh, Corando to the lead. Oh, they're 5 wide, I think. Ooh, I thought they were going to wreck right there. Chris Corando going to be driving the number 9 Dodge for Evernham next season. So he will be changing manufacturers for the first time in his career. Scott Greeney in the 48 is going to be leaving Hendrick to go drive for MB2, driving the 78 Chevy. Philip Tringali is also signed up with another ride. I forget who. I remember most people, but I'm trying to focus on the rest of this season. So you kind of forget about, you don't really focus on next season. And they are 4 wide, almost 5 wide. Oh, I don't know if this is going to end good. Sam York with the advantage. Ooh, they're 5 wide a bit there. They're 5 wide in row 3. Pericles is on the bottom, 5 wide, gets into Cindy Vieira. Oh, Chloe Baker gets it to him. There they go. Caution flag will wave here on lap number 5. Holy crap, I think it was Emily Brooks. What the heck? Oh my gosh. Emily Brooks beat both of them by 1,000th of a second at the line. That is nuts. So let's see what happened here to cause the first caution of the race. I don't see any contenders down there that look heavily damaged. So let's see what happened. So Pericles bounces into Cindy Vieira, and then he comes back up into Chloe Baker, and that's just, he's on the wrong part of him. Turns him into Cameron Harple, gets involved here. Philip Tringali, there's Scott Greeny, Paul Sardinia, Kyle Collins. Ooh, Ace Rogers is right there. Does Ace get by? Ace does. Ace Rogers gets by, was able to put the brakes on and go by. But it looks like Chloe Baker and Scott Greeny got the worst of it, along with Chris Carando, Paul Sardinia, and Kyle Collins. So a big wreck here, and it should be done. So Ace survives, and Fitzwater, Tony Vieira all survive as well. And let's get you to the race restart. Getting ready to go back racing here. We're going to have 4 laps to go here at Auto Club. Drivers out of the race: Chloe Baker, Scott Greeny, Chris Carando, Paul Sardinia, and Cameron Harple. Kyle Collins, Eric Caralla, Nick Pericles all going to stay in the race. I don't even know if Nick Pericles was involved. The 84 and the 98 are staying in the race too. They did have damage, and they did not pit. Tony Vieira is in front of Zachary Fitzwater and Ace Rogers, and that could come to his advantage. So coming to the restart, Emily Brooks leads, then Sam York, Nathan Rogers, Michael Cavanero, Sheila Sullivan, Cindy Vieira, Philip Goldberg, Ryan Shea, Tony Vieira, and Mason Powers. Also remember, guys, top 10 finishers. 1-2 get to race cup here at Auto Club, and at Sonoma, 2nd to 6th, 3rd to 6th Auto Club, 7th to 10th Sonoma. Emily Brooks with the lead now, but here comes Michael Cavanero. Brooks getting a decent outside draft, but Cavanero staying with. Tony Vieira has been pushed up to the high side. Ace is moving up towards the front. 3 to go here at Auto Club. Cavanero leads at that time. Nathan Rogers on the bottom. Sam York in the middle. We can see Ace, and we can see Zachary Fitzwater running back there as well in the 75. So now Nathan in the lead. Here comes Mason Powers to the bottom. Philip Goldberg. And these guys aren't just racing for a championship, as Eric Corral is on pit road. They're also racing for a win and a chance to get into a cup race or 2 now, as Armory Digital will be its own little thing. The top 6 will get to race at Armory Digital. So Philip Goldberg still leads, or is leading. They're going to come to the white flag. Goldberg pulling away. Ace Rogers is on the bottom line. Could he get something going here? They're beating and banging 4x4x4. White flag is out here at Auto Club. I think the big question now is who's going to come home second. Ace is pushing it 5 wide. They're 5 wide in the back. Karen Vieira is on the bottom of that 63 car. As they come through turn 4. They're going to crash. Tony Vieira's involved. Checkered flag waves. Philip Goldberg wins at Auto Club. Ace Rogers, Zachary Fitzwater survived. As Tony Vieira was involved. And he's going to come home 18th. Ace Rogers comes home 5th. Zachary Fitzwater 13th. And that could decide this part-timers championship. Ace Rogers is going to have the points lead. So Philip Goldberg wins. Karen Vieira second, so those two get to race Auto Club and Sonoma. Skylar Dixon, Emily Brooks, Ace Rogers, Kate Rogers will race Auto Club, while Sheila Sullivan, Brad Lewis, Cody Hagan, and Jim Morton III will race Sonoma. So Jim Morton III going to the track where his grandfather, Jim Morton, won twice. Will he be able to get his first victory at Sonoma? As James Morton is smoking, and we will see you guys for the Truck Series race later tonight.